This is the second recording of my learner who is in grade 5.
Salud in the Enchanted Forest by Richard Gola. One dark night, a voice as a cold, the pouring rain woke Salud of the from deep slumber. The voice, the reverberated drug, the thick woods was calling her. Drug, she was nervous. She calmed herself and followed the voice that was strange to her. Her feet carried her into a dense forest. Salud was astonished at the sight of fairies partying in the shade of a large tree. She could not eat. She saw various tools made of gold. The surroundings were also adorned with beautiful pearls and diamonds, and place was surrounded by variety of flowers. Salud was surprised when someone had suddenly grabbed and shoulder. She was amazing to see very handsome creature with charming smile. He gave her a glass of drinks and broke in front of the crowd. Salud could not believe what was happening. All of a sudden, the pairs danced to the accompaniment of entertaining music. She was surprised when the trumpet had sounded as if a coronation was about to take place. Unexpectedly, a pair appeared from nowhere, carrying a crown. The pair happened placed in the crown of Salud head. After the crowing, the crowd shouted, "Long live the Queen! Long live the Queen!" Salud happiness was overflowing when suddenly the pit felt pain at her side. She recognized that someone was pinching her thumb. She opened her eyes widely, saw her mother praise. She is then realized that she was just dreaming. Salud in the Enchanted Forest by Richard Gola.
The word salud was mispronounced as salod and forest as pores. The learner said gola instead of gula.
One dark night,
The learner mispronounced the word night as nai.
a voice as a cold.
The word voice was mispronounced as voice and called as cooled, and he also omitted the word as.
The pouring rain woke Salud of the from deep slumber.
The learner substituted the word walk with work. The learner inserted the word the between up and from and omitted the word a.
The voice,
The learner mispronounced the word voice as burst and said the instead of that.
reverberated drug.
The learner mispronounced the word reverberated as reverberated and said trug instead of true.
The thick woods was calling her.
The word thick was mispronounced as trick.
Drug, she was nervous.
The learner mispronounced again the word true as trag and said nerveros instead of nervous.
She calmed herself and followed.
The learner said herself instead of herself and mispronounced the word followed as followed.
The voice that was strange to her.
The learner added s in the word that.
Her feet carried.
The learner said pit instead of fit and mispronounced the word carried as carried.
Her into a dense forest.
The learner said here instead of her and omitted the word into. The learner mispronounced the word dense as depend. The word forest was mispronounced again.
Salud was astonished at the sight as
The learner mispronounced the word astonished as astonished. The learner said sign instead of sight and omitted the word of. The learner inserted the word as between sight and of.
In the shade of a large tree.
The learner mispronounced the words shade as shade and large as larbs.
She could not eat.
The learner said called instead of could and omitted the word believe.
She saw various tools made of gold.
The learner mispronounced the words saw as saw and various as verus.
Tools made of gold.
The learner substituted the word of with a.
The surroundings were also adorned with beautiful.
The word surrounding was mispronounced as surrounding. The learner said adorned instead of adorned.
Pearls and diamond
The learner substituted the word and with in. The learner made the plural diamonds singular.
and place was surrounded.
The learner omitted the word the and inserted the word and between diamonds and the. The learner mispronounced the word surrounded as surround.
By variety of powers.
The learner omitted the word a and mispronounced the words variety as barently, of as up, and flowers as prowess.
Salud was surprised when someone had suddenly.
The learner omitted t in the word surprised and mispronounced the word when as win. The learner said sadly instead of suddenly.
Grabbed and shoulders.
The learner mispronounced the word grabbed as grabbed. He also omitted the word her and inserted the word and between grabbed and her.
She was amazing
The learner substituted the word amazed with amazing.
to see very handsome creature with charming smile.
The learner omitted the word a and mispronounced the words very as very, handsome as handsomed, and creature as creature. The learner omitted the word a.
He gave her a glass.
The learner initially said ga and corrected it in the second attempt. The learner substituted the word her with here.
Of drinks and
The learner added s in the word drink.
broke in front of the crowd.
The learner mispronounced the word brought as brog. He also substituted the word her with he and inserted the word and between brought and her.
Front of the crowd.
The learner omitted the word in and mispronounced the words front as brunt and crowd as round.
Salud could not believe what was happening.
The learner said can't instead of could. The learner mispronounced the word happening as happening.
All of a sudden, the parents danced to.
The learner omitted the word a. The learner mispronounced again the word fairies and omitted t in the word dance.
The accompaniment
The word accompaniment was mispronounced as accompaniment.
of and turning music. She
The learner said interning instead of entertaining.
was surprised when the trumpet had sounded as
The learner omitted d in the word surprised.
when the trumpet had sounded as if a coronation was about to take place.
The learner mispronounced the words trumpet as trumpet and sounded as sanjin.
Unexpectedly, a fairy appeared from.
The learner mispronounced the words unexpectedly as unexpectedly, fairy as fairy, and appeared as appeared.
Now were carrying a crown.
The learner initially said crying, then carrying.
The very happy place in
The word fairy was mispronounced again. The learner omitted t in the word placed and inserted the word in between placed and the.
crown of salud head.
The learner substituted the word on with of. The learner omitted s in the word saludes.
After the crowing, the crowd shouted.
The learner mispronounced the words crowning as crowing and shouted as shouted.
Long live the queen, long live the queen.
The learner mispronounced twice the word live as live.
Salud happiness was overflowing.
The learner mispronounced again the word saludes.
When saludly the pit felt pain at her.
The learner mispronounced again the word suddenly, and for the second time I heard saludly. The learner omitted she and inserted the word the between suddenly and she. The learner initially said pit, then pilt.
She recognized the someone.
The learner said recognized instead of recognized and substituted the word that with the.
Was pitching her some. She opened her.
The learner mispronounced the word pinching as pitching. The learner inserted the word sham between her and she and mispronounced the word opened as opened.
Eyes widely saw her mother praise.
The learner mispronounced the words widely as widely and saw as saw, and he also omitted the word end. The learner omitted s in the word mothers and mispronounced the word face as praise.
She is then realized that she was just dreaming.
The learner inserted the word his between she and then. He also mispronounced the word realized as serialized and substituted the word that with the.